ODOGWU Girls. Once upon a time, not too long ago, in the year 2020, when smartphones had reached even the smallest compounds and gossip still traveled faster than internet, there lived a man named Akpan Eko Uto. If you ask his wife Itoro, she would say, "My husband, the finest man in Akwa Ibom." If you ask his neighbors, they would whisper, "That intimidating rich man with the big gates." But if you truly knew him, you would say, "Akpan, the caring father of daughters." Akpan was the fourth son out of 8 boys. His childhood was loud, rough, and filled with wrestling, shouting, and broken slippers. So when he got married to gentle Itoro, whose voice was soft as palm wine foam, Akpan made a secret wish. "I want daughters," he used to say, rubbing Itoro's belly during her pregnancies. "Many daughters. A whole palace of daughters." Itoro would laugh. "You that cannot even play there." "I will learn," Akpan would declare proudly. "For my daughters, I will learn everything." And life, amused by a stubborn desire, granted his wish. First came Ekai, then Uyai, then Umfon, and finally baby Eno. When Eno was born and Itoro declared, "Akpan, I am done. This factory is closed," he simply smiled, lifted the newborn, and gathered the other 3 daughters into his arms, right inside the hospital ward. "These ones are enough," he said, kissing each forehead. "My 4 pillars." Akpan was not just a father. It was a full-time institution. He woke before sunrise to plait hair with concentration, fierce enough to frighten crows off the roof. "Daddy, that one is too tight." Uyai would protest. "Beauty requires patience," Akpan would reply, tongue between his teeth as he wrestled with rubber bands. He cooked lunch boxes, labeled carefully. Ekai, no pepper. Uyai, extra fish. Umfon, small rice. Eno, mashed. Every morning, the compound echoed with his marching orders. "Princess's inspection!" 4 girls would line up in uniforms, while Akpan circled them like a general. Socks, white. Nails, cut. Confidence, high. "Who are you?" they would shout, giggling. "ODOGWU Girls." Then, he would carry Eno, strapped proudly to his chest, and escort the others to school like a royal convoy. And every afternoon, he was always the first parent waiting at the gates, always. One afternoon, the sun, still sharp in the sky, Akpan stood outside the school fence, bouncing baby Eno gently. "Daddy, goat," Eno babbled, pointed at Norton. "Yes, goat," he agreed solemnly. The school bell rang. Children poured out in noisy waves. Ekai ran first. Uyai followed, but Umfon came last. Her cheeks, usually round and bright, carried the faint red print of fingers. Akpan froze. The word narrowed. "Umfon," he said quietly. "Kneeling, come." She shuffled forward, her eyes wet. He lifted her chin. His voice changed. "Who did this?" Umfon sniffled. "Teacher, I went to toilet without telling." The gate slammed because Akpan had just shut it from inside. Parent outside shouted. Teacher stared. Akpan's voice rose like thunder. "No child lives." The headmistress hurried over. "Mr. Akpan, what is the meaning of—" "My daughter," I said, pointing, was struck. Silence fell heavy. Within minutes, the trembling teacher stood before him. "Sir, she didn't ask." "And you slapped her?" "Yes, but—" Akpan's voice dropped low and dangerous. "Use that hand again on any of my daughters, and you will teach with it in a sling." The teacher burst into tears. Safe to say, from that day onward, the staff treated Akpan's daughters like glass ornaments in a museum. As the girls grew, so did Akpan's protection, and protection, when stretched too tight, begins to pinch. One Saturday afternoon, a skinny teenage boy appeared at the gate, holding a nylon bag of oranges. "I came to see Ekai," he told the gateman nervously. Akpan appeared behind him like a summoned lightning. "To see who?" "Ekai, sir." "For what purpose?" The boy swallowed. "Group reading." Akpan stared at the oranges. "Is my daughter sick?" "No, sir." "Is she poor?" "No, sir." "Then why are you bringing fruits?" The boy began sweating. Akpan opened the gate slowly. "Enter." Inside the compound, he placed a broom in the boy's hand. "Since you have strength to visit girls, you have strength to sweep." For 30 minutes, the boys swept the courtyard, while Ekai watched from the window, mortified. "Daddy, please." Akpan folded his arms. Education first, romance in year 2080. The story spread across school by Monday. No boy came again. Another time, Uyai once received a Valentine card, slipped into her ex. Akpan found it. The next day, he attended assembly uninvited. He took the microphone. To the young man writing poetry to my daughter, he announced, "Please focus on mathematics. Love requires employment." Students collapsed laughing. Uyai nearly evaporated from embarrassment. At first, the girls laughed too. That is dramatic, Umfong would giggle. But as years passed, laughter turned into sighs. Their father's love felt heavy. Felt like carrying a backpack filled with gold, precious but exhausting. One morning, Akpan woke up as usual. But the house felt wrong, too quiet. He checked the girls' room. Uyai asleep. Umfong coiled like a kitten. Eno sprayed sideways, but Ekai. Her bed was empty. Neatly made, on the pillow lay a folded note. "Daddy, I love you, but I cannot breathe. I'm at grandma's. Please don't be angry." Akpan sat slowly. Itoro found him. Note trembling in his hand. "Akpan, she left," he whispered. Itoro read. Then she sighed softly. "Our daughter is growing." "I protected her," he said, voice breaking. "I did everything." "Yes," Itoro said gently. "Everything." The phone rang. It was his mother. "So, Mama," Akpan said. Her voice calm. "Your daughter has arrived." "Mama, she ran away." "She walked," Mama corrected. "Strong legs like yours." Akpan swallowed. "Why didn't she tell me?" "Because," Mama said, "you guide them like national treasures." "They are," he argued. "Yes," she agreed. "But treasures look too tight to lose hair." Silence. Akpan, she continued softly. "You grew among brothers. You fought to be heard. These girls grew under your shadow. Let them step into the sun." He said nothing. "You must loosen your hold, though," Mama finished. "And let Itoro mother them too. You are not the only parents." That evening, Akpan sat alone in the courtyard. Itoro joined him, placing tea beside him. "You love loudly," she said. He gave a sad laugh. "Is that bad?" "It is beautiful," she said. "But others also need space to choose, to stumble, to speak without fear." He rubbed his face. "I thought protection meant closeness." "Protection also means trust," she replied. He looked at her, really looked. "Perhaps for the first time as partner in parenting, not assistant." "Itoro," he said quietly. "Teach me." She smiled. "We will learn together." The next morning, Akpan drove to his mother's house. Ekai opened the door slowly. They stared at each other. Then she whispered, "Daddy." He pulled her into a hug, so tight she squeaked. "I am sorry," he mumbled into her hair. "My love was too loud." She laughed through tears, very loud. He put back, "You may talk to boys." Her eyes widened, but he added quickly, "Only boys with future," she groaned. "Daddy!" They both laughed. Ekai returned home that week. Things changed. Akpan still waited at school sometimes, but not every day. He still asked questions, but fewer. He still scared boys, but slightly less. And the ODOGWU girls grew strong, confident and loved. Not caged, not abandoned, but held with hands that finally learned the delicate art of letting go. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, I'll see you in my next video.